Hey guys, it's me the Mayor, and today we have the OKC Chimera, a knife overbuilt and meant to withstand World War III and the apocalypse at the same time. It's made right here in the US of A. The OKC Chimera features 8 1/4 inches of 1095 carbon steel, a glass breaking butt cap, and a full guard with the addition of serrations to cut through your favorite stranded type of materials. This knife, the OKC Chimera, I mean, really overbuilt. Feels a little hefty in the hand. It's about 1/5 of an inch thick on the blade itself. It's very, very strong from what I can tell, just by feel and visually. I mean, it's very, very thick of a blade. Well, let's go ahead and see how it does shaving tinder for the fire. Now remember, before you start any activity, safety first, my friends. Let's try a shaving technique. This grind, just the factory grind on this blade, I would probably say it's around 25 degrees. Not really great for shaving. Let's try a chopping technique. The blade is just so thick that it actually just breaks pieces off of my stick right here. I mean, to be honest, I wish that the grind from the factory would be a little bit sharper, but I do understand that it's more of a all-around universal tool instead of just, you know, a field craft blade. All right, well, let's step it up a notch. In a survival situation, urban environment, you will run across a lot of building materials. Let's see how quickly this OKC Chimera gets through a 2x4 of white pine from our great friends of the north in Canada. Safety first. Do not try this at home. Wow, it actually did pretty well. Now, a lot of force was needed because the blade is cut at such of a shallow angle. Now, I'm pretty sure it's a 25 degree cut, or 23 to 25 degree grind, and you know, chopping wise, it did well. Took me a little bit more force than usual, but keep in mind that this is a heavyweight blade. Now, a distinguishing feature about this blade is definitely the serrations. They are well spaced. They are very sharp to the touch. So let's go ahead and see how well these serrations will cut through an inch of Manila natural rope. Now remember, safety first. That 1-inch thick piece of Manila rope was no match for the OKC Chimera serrations. Now for digging, this blade is actually pretty nice. I can actually get about 1.5 hands on the actual handle itself. The handle is non-slip, it's very great. The blade is really thick, so it gives you a good sense of security when digging through those roots. Another tip is that since the blade is a lot longer, you can insert it deeper into the ground, push up, and a lot more dirt gets expelled. It's actually not too bad for a very small spade that in an emergency, you could dig something a lot quicker than just using your bare hands. All right, now on to phase 2 of testing. The first test that we will start out with is the edge retention test. I will be striking the OKC Chimera on a piece of solid concrete block right here. Solid concrete, notate the mark, and at that mark I will cut this line in half with the part of the blade that was struck on the concrete. Very dangerous test. I have had knives fail this test. So remember, safety first, and do not try this at home. Blades can shatter and they can hurt somebody really bad. So be very, very careful. Do not repeat my test. We struck right here. As you can see, it is actually not sharp enough there to cut into the slime rind. To put a lot of force, and still with that amount of force, I still cannot cut into the slime rind. And there you have it. A little bit of sawing, a little bit too much force there, but in my opinion, that's a little pitiful. Very jagged, very uneven cut. Now into the brick test. I'll be striking this brick right here with the spine of the knife blade. This is a lot of impact stress and the blade can shatter. So remember, safety first, my friends. Anytime you're striking any type of object, safety first. Do not repeat this test at home. Perfect. Completely in half. No wobble. No loose feel in the handle to the blade or the guard. It's kept together pretty well. Let's keep going. All right, that feels pretty great. I will say, it might not be that sharp from the factory, but it has not bulged, not 1 inch, not 1 millimeter, not a centimeter, nanometer. The blade is fully intact. I do not see any type of noticeable damage on the spine itself, and it passed this test with flying colors. This brick test is way too easy. I mean, for this Chimera, it could take on pretty much anything. Let's get these baby bricks out of the way. A lot of my knives has passed that test. I mean, 99% of them have. A couple of them have failed, and I feel bad to say that most of them, if not all of them that failed, were made in China. Well, let's step it up a notch. Safety first. Do not try this at home. We have a big boy block, or big girl block, depending. Cinder block. Do not try this at home. Let's try the glass breaker here. Wow, super effective. Complete destruction. Whoop! And we've actually had a fatal occurrence. The glass breaker actually broke itself off of the blade. Wow, that is intense. Now at some point when I was destroying this cinder block right here, this glass breaker actually broke itself off of the knife handle itself. I cannot believe it. It broke right here where the tang, it's actually a rat tang. It screws into the butt cap here, or the glass breaker. And what had happened was that it had so much force applied on it that it broke. Now, I'm pretty notorious for breaking things, and I did not expect this at all for an Ontario blade to be broken in my hands, but it has been done. Now, pulling the handle separate from the blade, the handle is not wanting to move off of the blade tang, that rat tail tang on the inside. As hard as I can, I cannot pull it apart. So, well, there is some small wiggle room between the guard and the blade. So this grip has shifted a little bit. Alright guys and gals, there you have it. The OKC Chimera has failed the Chimera Fuglycool testings. Now, the Achilles heel is definitely this glass breaker right here. It's such of a small threaded screw. I mean, there's no way that it would hold on up to any type of, any type of stress whatsoever. Now the blade material, very nice, very thick, but the way that the blade is attached to the grip and to the butt cap is just utterly pitiful. I mean, shame on you, Ontario, seriously. I mean, your knives have been great so far. All of your knives that I've tested up to this point have passed the Chimera Fuglycool testing, except for the OKC Chimera. For $90, I definitely would not buy this knife. I mean, I just wouldn't. Any type of situation that I would need the glass breaker to perform up to its full potential to break anything that I need it to be broke, it will eventually fail. It's just too small of a thread, and the steel itself, it fractures too easily. Alright guys, well, remember to like my videos. Like them, helps me a lot. Or, hey, if you hate me, dislike my videos. Tell me, I hate you, Chimera Fuglycool. You told the truth about my knife. Wah, wah, wah. Go ahead. I don't care. And to be honest, I'd like other people to see your comments so that way they could laugh at it. It's just ridiculous. Now, if you actually have something like logical to say, like, oh, I think your tests are a little bit too extreme, then okay, for sure. I'd love to hear y'all's responses to my video. Subscribe. When you subscribe, it helps me help you. Subscribing to me helps the reach, the outreach of the Chimera Fuglycool testings. On top of that, it helps me buy new knives to test. You could tell me, drop a comment in the comment box below. Tell me, hey Mayor, I want you to test this, or I want you to test that knife, another OKC, or another cold steel, or a SOG, or anything. Go ahead, ask away, and I will try to get around to testing that blade sometime in the near future. This knife blade itself was recommended to me by many subscribers. Many subscribers, they would even personally message me and say, I want to see the Chimera. I know you love OKC. Please do a review of the Chimera. And well, the testing of the Chimera was just painful. I mean, even for me, I love OKC, as I've said before. Would I trust this with my life? No, I wouldn't. Would I buy this knife and have it as a type of bushcraft knife? No, I wouldn't. It did not live up to the hype. Alright guys, well, definitely, that's the Mayor, and I test this stuff right here, so you don't have to. That's the Mayor. Thanks for watching.